Hey guys, Thunder here. Today we're going to talk about optimizing some quest events. Specifically, these are the quest events that run during the battle event, which is the large weekend event over here. That starts on Wednesday and you can begin collecting your tickets and will end on Monday morning. Now, the quest events we're going to talk about are the ones that run during this event. There is the Battle Event Tickets quest event. There's this one. And there is the Weekend Challenge quest event. In addition to these two, there's also the Grandmaster quest event, but it's not active quite yet. We'll talk about that one later in the video. Now, before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout out to all my amazing Patreons who help me to keep all this content coming and get new nice things like a recording mic for all of you. If you have not checked out my Patreon yet, please check out the link in the description below. There's a bunch of cool tiers offering a variety of awesome perks that you can go and take a look at. So please head on over there and take a peek. While you're at it, tap the like and subscribe button so more people can help find this content as well, and we can all improve at Questland together. Alright, back to these quest events. I get asked a lot how to actually go about completing these events. There's quite a few different ways to do it, but we're going to talk about being efficient so you don't have to spend as many resources to get the same results. And you can see I've done a little bit here, but I stopped. Now you'll notice at these chests you actually get the craftable multiplier items, and then everything after this 15,000 point and up, you're going to end up getting a free 5,000 points for any of the promoted items. Now notice here I didn't do all my voyages, so I'm going to have to use extra resources this week to complete this. But the way you do all your voyages is Wednesday morning when this event starts, you're going to go to your voyages and you're going to use your ads on the large ones that are over 35 minutes to complete all of those very quickly. And then you're actually going to use 150 gems to reset your voyages, right? And then you can get one in very quickly at the start of the day. And you need to do about 5 in each day, unless you want to wake up early to get that last one. Now, this is pretty tricky, but it's doable. It's free to play, no problem. What's also very easy to do is using free chests to get 20 open chests, or you can use a couple of the green or silver keys to complete this. Sorry, silver or gold keys to complete this. Now, you'll notice here that I do have 10,000 points. The way I got this already was I ended up using the Wheel of Fates from the Grandmaster event. Now this one just reset earlier this morning, so you don't see it, but I did do the first one. When this starts Friday morning, you'll see that this wheel is active, and it ends and a second one comes up. So if you need a lot of the legendary promoted orbs, you can go ahead and get them this way. Alright. Now circling back to these quests, really taking a look at them a bit. This quest, if you take a look at the rewards on the weekend, this is parts, so this won't count for any points. And there are 2 promoted items in here which will count for points. So you're really not going to expect to get a lot of legendary promoted gear causing points over here, which is the complete opposite of the ticket event, where you're going to get promoted gear all the time once you get to that first box. And getting to that first box is a little tricky. Right here, where you currently see the Magic Thief talent, is 10,000. I can't click on it or I'll collect it. This is 10,000 points, and this is very tricky to get to, and this is where most players who are not spending or don't get lucky, we'll talk about a little bit of luck later in this video, are going to stop. But if you're trying to get higher, what you'll actually be doing is going ahead and trying to collect promoted items to move up past this. Now the way you get this high is not going to be every week. Even for the 10,000, usually the 8,000 or 6,000, I believe that is more sustainable, is through smelting the rare and epic gear. Now the reason I didn't actually smelt any yet is I was waiting for the overlap. And the overlap is when both the battle event ticket and the weekend challenge are up. The reason we wait for this is because down in here, get extract tools and get empowering stones. You get both extract tools and empowering stones from going ahead and actually smelting. So what this means is that if I smelt a lot of resources, I want to do it when both the weekend challenge are up, so I get points from extract tools and empowering stones. And it also means that I primarily want to be smelting epic and rare gear, because that will also give me the battle event ticket points. Now, this is pretty important because doing this is going to mean that that gear you're smelting counts for points in both of your events. So it's going to be the primary way you're going to score a bunch of points on both. The second way is, you can see down here that promoted items give me a bunch of points on these events. And if we hop back over to the wonderful ticket event, you will see that promoted items also give me points here. Now, once you get up to these higher tiers, this works. This can get you these promoted items and help you move forward a little bit. But the real trick is not looking at these QEs, because the obvious thing to do is come up to the grand events and they have the event call chests. Never hit the individual one. You have a much better chance, I believe it's around 18%, a little lower, of actually getting the promoted item when you spend 5,000 gems on the 10 times. It drops dramatically when you go down to the 500 gem, so do not use that. That's the same on this one as well. They have the same odds. The Orbs and Shards is currently in its state. This is September 2020. Awful. Don't put your gems in here. It's a really good way to lose a lot of gems. You're not going to get this promoted orb very easily for points. So this is not a good way of going after points. Now, one thing of note is the, where is it? The 100,000 gems spent, 200,000 gems spent, 300,000, and 75,000. That's a lot, 750,000. That is a lot of gems. But what you're really looking at is these also give points. So if you end up spending these gems before Friday, do not claim this. Right? Leave it unclaimed. Leave the big blue annoying button and the red check mark. I know it's aggravating, just like how my quest is doing it right now. But you want to collect this during the actual overlap. This way, this collected resource here will count for points on both. Same with the top up. There's really nothing until you have 6,000 top up. And this gives you 4 of the promoted item. That's a lot of the promoted item and can do a bunch on the quest. So if you spend the 6,000 top up or more, because you'll get more promoted the higher you up, when you spend this, do not spend it unless you're actually going to spend this for it's not spend it. Do not collect it unless you're going to collect it during the overlap on Friday morning. As you want to get all that free rewards, you really want to make the most use of it. Now, the other thing that's really important to talk about is right here. The battle event legendary keys. We all do a lot of work to get these. Sometimes there's a piggy event for them. You can get them from all kinds of different purchases and rewards, but these are really a 10% chance. And there's tons of guesses if it's actually 10%, but it's a 10% chance at getting one of these 4 items. The easiest to get is the craftable. Next, these 2 promoted items that are the new gear. And the hardest to get is the legendary orb. But cumulatively, these are 10% chance. Now, what we want to do, whether you're free to play or whether you're going to pay a little bit of money, is you're actually going to want to run the battle event really early. The reason that is under the event rewards. If you look under the event rewards, you'll see that there's promoted keys, these battle event keys. And there's actually 2. And I believe there's at least 1 more in here. Oh, sorry, it's on this side. So there's 2 normally. And then if you purchase the battle event pass, you will find that there's, I believe, another one. Here it is. There's one at the 100 million. And, oops. I believe there's 1 more in here. There it is. One at the 1 million marker. Right? So there's a potential of 2 from your milestones and another 2 if you get the Super Rewards Pass. Now what this means is when the battle event starts, you're going to have these tickets here. And you should not be collecting these tickets here yet, because not everyone has really high caps. So you want to use them when you are low on your cap and you're pushing up. This will hold your tickets for 24 hours after the event ends. But what you want to do here is actually come in and level your easy and hard boss up as much as you can. So you're going to score a bunch of points and unlock rewards. And what you're really hoping to do is get these battle event keys, so you can spin them for the 10% chance. Because if you get a promoted item, you're going to end up scoring a bunch of extra points on your events. You'll get an extra 5,000, which might be enough to hop you up one of these tiers. There's only 10,000 apart, right? And if you hop up one of the tiers, usually the rewards are 1. So this is going to be extra multiplier. And if you're talking about the weekend challenge, you get a huge boost. You're going to get either 75,000 or 50,000, depending on what you get. In addition, it's asking you to get legendary gear and open chests, which those BE keys work on as well. So keep that in mind. Now this get legendary gear, we'll talk about this later, but you don't have to work hard to get this now. This is typically best done when you're overlapping with the Grandmaster event, because it also asks you to get legendary gear. So keep that in mind. All right, now the final stuff I want to talk about is other than the overlap here. I want to come over onto the battle events tickets. And getting myth emblem gear is not too bad. You have the option of using schemes, which I don't really recommend, or shards, which is a pretty good option. Your battle event keys will also always give you a myth legendary gear, so keep that in mind. And you can also use swaps. This is one of the better uses of swap tokens, actually. So you can use the swap tokens to go ahead and swap myth gear for other myth gear, and it gives you a new legendary, which counts. I recommend trading the legendary craft tokens with guild members if you're going to use swaps, as you want to save your epic gear for smelting for points rather than turning them into legendary craft tokens. Alright, now I'm going to kind of pause the video at this point for the battle event tickets and the weekend challenge. And I'm going to flash forward a little bit when I record later with the Grandmaster event so that you can see everything all at once for how to think about these quest events. And I'll see you in a moment. Hey guys, Thunder here, back for the second part of the battle events optimizations around the quest events that are running. Last time we talked a little bit about the weekend challenge overlapped with the ticket quest event. I forget its proper name here. The ticket QE and the weekend QE. We overlap those two. Now we're actually overlapping the Grandmaster selection and the weekend challenge. And we want to talk a little bit about what you can do here. So now, depending on how far you got in this weekend challenge, you may be done with it, you may not be done with it, but there's a few points of leverage that we can use. The first one is kind of these open chests, right? And these get legendary gear. So let's talk a little bit about opening chests, right? And let's talk a little bit about getting legendary gear. When we come down and look at our Grandmaster event, when we open this up, you can see that we have some quests here for getting legendary emblem gear and getting legendary gear as well. So this gives us a few options to work with. These are kind of the two main events that you're going to kind of be able to stack up resources on. Now, depending on what your resource quest event is, at the moment, like here's the scheme one. Theoretically, I could use schemes to get some myth gear pieces, right? That could potentially work. Another good way to get legendaries and myth gear pieces is you can go over to your gear shards. And if you have the myth legendary shards, you can get legendaries for myth and complete it that way. Another option that's also really good to get those myth pieces is you can go ahead and go into, I need to go to the crafting, not the trading. You can go ahead and go into the crafting area. And over on swaps, you can use your swap tokens, which don't have too much of another use right now, on the emblem you care about. So we could use it on myth. And what we can do is just swap one piece of myth gear over, I have them all locked, over and over and over again to get new myth legendaries, and they will count for the quest. Now, doing quest events give you a few options as well. So if you look here, if we had a myth legendary gear on here, or just a legendary gear on here in general, you don't have to collect it right away. Right? You could wait to collect it while this event is open. In addition, you get a lot of keys from those events. So for opening chests, you can actually stack up, opening up all of these keys you have here, right? And if you have myth emblem keys, and you can save a few, so when it comes around again, you're prepared, you can open a few of those keys, which will give you points in the quest event as well. When you need more chests to open, it's always a good idea to use just kind of a couple silver keys to pad it. Now, in this particular case, the Grandmaster also wants you to get rare. So it can help to open gold keys, which can give rare gear. There are a few other ways of getting rare gear that we kind of want to think about a bit. The first and perhaps the easiest is saving up things from our battle event shop. Every day during the battle event, for only 25 trophies, you can purchase a rare key. You can hoard up these keys and then use them to help you complete the quest event. That's one way to do it. The next way is as you're going through the campaign and things, you're going to pick up rare shards. You can use these to get your rares. Another way to do it is you can come right on over to the marketplace. And in the item shop in the marketplace, you can buy all the rares out of here, deliver it, this costs a few gems, and keep buying rares that way. That is another way that you can go and get a bunch of rares to help power through this Grandmaster event. Another trick is you kind of want these rewards a little early. So normally when your craftables become available on Saturday morning, you could immediately use them and go push on the battle event ladder. But if you hold them just a little bit for the Grandmaster to open, you can use all of those tickets to power these. You can see I've done my easy boss and most of the campaign. I just haven't finished my push quite yet. And that can push you up a bunch of these brackets, getting you extra rewards very quickly. So those are kind of a couple of things to look at here. Notice you did a bunch of extracting earlier, Now you can use up all those extract tools you gained to earn points as well. This is a good way to just kind of wait, say, what do I need for my build? And then extract that. That can give you a very sizable boost of points on this event. For Eternal Keys, a lot of the times they are going to be rewards that you can get out of whatever resource quest event is currently running. For instance, here we go. Get Gear Emblem. You could get the keys from here. Alternatively, if you save up your craft tokens, when you go to craft, you can actually just make a few Eternal Keys. And we'll just do that. Whoops, this is the marketplace. Need the crafting. You can just make a few Eternal Keys. So you kind of hoard up a bunch of these craft tokens, and then it says you need some keys. You go, okay. I think it was 6 off the top of my head, but not too big a deal. I'll just make 6 keys. 6. Craft. Right? And you'll have the resources to make those. So you don't want to make your Eternal Keys right away. You kind of want to make them as quest events give you rewards for making them. There you go. Got a few points on the event for crafting those keys. And there we go. Another legendary and a free key. How about that? Alright. So this is going to be the end of the guide for kind of handling the overlap between the Grandmaster and the battle event. The last thing we should talk about is the parts in here are parts. Right? These have no potential to give you points on that weekend QE. However, the battle event key here has a 10% chance to give you that points on the weekend QE. So you at least want to grab this key and use it before your battle event, the weekend challenge ends. That way you can get extra points potentially for any of these promoted items. So keep that in mind. However, you have over a day after both are active, so there's plenty of time to do that. Alright, with this I'm going to wrap up the follow-up for overlapping the weekend and the Grandmaster quest events during that battle event. I hope this gets you a lot of extra points on these quests and helps you push a lot higher in those rankings and get some cool rewards. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton, and it helps people search and find it so they can learn and improve about Questland as well. If you haven't, please check out my Patreon. I have lots of cool tiers and different perks, and everyone who helps support me on there definitely gets a lot of great stuff, and it helps me keep making this amazing content. My opinion of amazing, for everyone. Best of luck on all your quests. Thunder out.